Good evening. This is Global News Tonight. I'm Basil of Echoes and Oddities, and we begin with breaking news that is shaking the Middle East and rippling across the world. The war between Israel and the Iran-backed Houthi movement in Yemen has escalated into a confrontation both sides describe as a battle for existential survival. Just hours ago, Israeli warplanes struck targets across the Houthi-controlled capital of Sana'a, including the presidential palace compound. The attack has left at least 6 people dead, nearly 90 injured, and triggered fears of a wider regional war. The strikes came in the dead of night, shaking the city of nearly 3 million people. Witnesses described thunderous blasts, buildings collapsing, and fireballs lighting up the skyline. Reporting from the center of the capital, where smoke still hangs in the air. What remains of the presidential palace compound reduced to rubble after multiple Israeli missiles slammed into it. Rescue crews are combing through debris. The health ministry says at least 6 are confirmed dead, and dozens more are being treated in overcrowded hospitals. For many here, this is the harshest strike they've seen in years. Israel says this strike was a matter of survival. According to the Israeli military, it was in direct retaliation for a ballistic missile fired by the Houthis just hours earlier. That missile, armed with cluster submunitions, was intercepted near Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion airport. Had it landed, officials warn, the consequences would have been catastrophic. Israeli leaders are pushing this conflict as part of a wider war against Iranian influence. In a statement tonight, the Prime Minister's office said, the Houthis have crossed a red line. Any group that threatens Israel's existence will be dealt with decisively. Military officials claim the presidential palace was being used as a command hub for missile operations. But the Houthis see it differently. Their leadership calls the bombing a war crime and vows revenge. Houthi officials addressed supporters earlier today, saying Israel will pay a heavy price. They accused Tel Aviv of deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure. In the streets, thousands rallied in defiance, chanting that Yemen will continue its resistance campaign. Officials also warned that new attacks against Israeli cities and even shipping in the Red Sea are being prepared. The ripple effects are being felt far beyond Yemen. In Tehran, Iran condemned the Israeli strike, while Gulf states placed their militaries on alert. In Washington, U.S. officials are urging restraint. White House officials tell us they are monitoring the situation minute by minute. The Pentagon has already deployed additional naval forces to the Red Sea, fearing Houthi attacks on international shipping lanes. Analysts warn the situation could spiral, dragging in Iran, Saudi Arabia, and potentially the United States itself. Yemen is already considered the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Tonight's escalation is making things worse. Humanitarian agencies warn hospitals in Sana'a are at breaking point. Fuel depots hit in the strikes are threatening to shut down power stations. Aid groups fear famine could intensify as supply chains collapse. The UN Secretary General issued a statement calling for an immediate halt to hostilities and reminding all parties of their obligation to protect civilians. This is no longer a local conflict. The Houthis are acting as Iran's proxy, and Israel is responding as under attack from Tehran itself. The risk now is that this spills over into a direct Israel-Iran confrontation, or drags in the U.S. and Gulf states. In short, it's a regional war in the making. To recap, tonight, Israeli warplanes struck multiple sites in Yemen's capital, Sana'a, including the Houthi presidential palace compound. The attack was retaliation for a missile fired toward Tel Aviv. At least 6 are dead, dozens injured, and both sides are vying escalation. This is being described as a fight for existential survival, but it risks igniting a regional war with consequences far beyond the Middle East. We'll continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as they come in. For Global News Tonight, I'm Basil from Echoes and Oddities. Stay with us.